everyone is trying to figure out what this is going to do to the economy, what it's going to do to markets. How difficult is it, given the inherent difficulty of just establishing where the virus is going to go, of making an informed prediction? And what's the best that we can do right now?
So I think you're completely right, Joe. I mean, at this point in time, this is primarily a question for the scientists. And it's a question of looking at the data of the number of infections, the number of deaths which occur from the virus, the spread around the world. If in a week's time we're in a world where this is looking like it's escalating, it's going to be easier to put some concrete numbers on the economic impact. It's also possible that in a week's time this will look much more contained and we'll be looking at maybe as a moderate impact on China's retail sales or services sector, but nothing which looks like a macro impact.
Right. So right now there's a lot of uncertainty, and perhaps that's why Chinese stocks tumbled yesterday, with the Shanghai Shenzhen 300 index falling the most since early May. Having said all that, Tom, a lot of people will point to what happened with SARS about 16 years ago as kind of the model for what we can look for. Is that a good comparison, a good basis of comparison?
So I think that's right, Scarlet. SARS provides the lens for thinking about the potential magnitude of the economic impact on China, and it points to some fairly significant risks. In the second quarter of 2003, that's the peak of SARS impact on the Chinese economy, GDP growth fell 2 percentage points, dropping from 11.1% to 9.1%. The biggest impact was on the services sector. Of course, when there's an outbreak of disease, people don't want to go to the shops, they don't want to eat in restaurants, they don't want to go to the cinema, so it's the services which take a biggest hit. And of course, one of the most significant changes which has taken place in China in the last 17 years is the rise of the services sector. That's been a success for China's policymakers, part of the long-term rebalancing of the economy. But if this virus does prove difficult to contain, a larger role for the services, a larger role for consumption, does increase China's vulnerability to an economic hit.